All right, everybody, and we are live. It's Trinitechcast Beta 4. This is our last one. This is supposed to be our last beta. Let's call this thing beta.
Yeah. Supposed to be our last beta. We had almost three running before.
Yeah.
So welcome everyone, YouTube, TikTok. Anyone that's listening on the podcast. Welcome. And
Yes, sir.
today we have what? We have three topics. The main topic gonna be the new Scotia e-com service. More or less their solution to online payments, online invoices. And I mean I've been trying to get information from them for the past week or so, and this week I finally got the info. So you're gonna look at it, look at the requirements for the services, and probably compare to a couple of the other options we have here available to us in Trinidad.
So, I know you have to send an email, right? You have to send an email or you have to call them or some kind of thing like that for it to.
I mean, I sent 2 emails, made 3 calls, was promised. I call the next day, I didn't get the call again the other week, and I ended up getting the information probably 3 days after. So, I mean, I guess what I'm thinking is they probably weren't expecting the large demand, or, the large influx of requests for information, because I think we have that appetite, to go online and to accept online payments. So they probably kind of underestimated the demand,
You really feel so, man?
I don't know either that or the communication needs some work. I giving them the benefit of the doubt.
All right.
Yeah.
I understand. Um okay. If you say so. Oh shucks.
Yeah.
Audacity. Point out. We forget the audacity. You ready?
1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's
3,
go.
2, 1, go. Yeah. Right. So with the Scotiabank thing,
Yeah.
I'll let you share your screen and we'll talk about it because I didn't get the email, so I want to see what really going on with this thing. Because I find that we need some like good online payment systems. Not that we pay is our problem, but if we have some competitors, then I don't know, I might see we pay putting a user interface or some kind of thing that will make life a little easier. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, competition is always a good thing, to help inspire and push innovation and, even pricing. So it's always a good thing.
What I want to know is there a mobile app for it? Is there a mobile app?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay. I was really hoping that there's a mobile app.
No, I don't think there's a mobile app. So yeah, so I mean, so I'm sharing here now, so those on YouTube could see, but I'll still go through it.
I'll put it up, yeah. Good.
Yeah, so I mean, is their e-commerce solution, their answer to probably some of the other services we have out there, and I mean, they have two main options, right? So we could probably go through the requirements. The requirements to sign up, you need to have a business account with Scotiabank, right? So that's you need to be one of their customers, or you need to sign up with them, right? Other than that, you need basic description of your business name, contact information, phone number, and after that, you need to give them a brief description of your product or services you're going to be offering online, your target market, who your target audience going to be, and they need some, financial information in terms of your projected sales, yeah, in terms of the maximum, sales you're going to be expecting over a year, months,
Wait.
the
So
max.
hold on. I need to tell you what my projected sales
Yeah,
going to be
yeah.
to accept online payments.
Yep. So it
But
kind of sounds similar to some of the requirements for opening a
for
business
opening a
account.
business bank account, yeah, that's
Yeah,
what it's
yeah,
sounding like to me.
yeah. It's sounding similar to that.
Because when it's time to open up a business bank account in Trinidad, men does ball because you had to get your grandmother deed and thing. So
Yeah, yeah,
all
yeah,
right,
yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, so
I watch you know you're up there.
they need a projected sales, your annual projected sales online. They need a maximum transaction amount, so if you have a product you're gonna be selling for $10,000, I need to know that's the max. So
Oh,
probably in the event
uh, uh,
that you go
that's
over
what
that,
that they will flag it.
yeah, they might flag it, so they need a maximum transaction amount,
Go ahead.
and I guess it's all about them kind of probably satisfying probably some of the central bank policies and their own banking policies, but
But
this is their requirements in terms of just signing up to get approved.
but I kind of want to know that like okay, when it comes to requirements, people usually trying to get the easiest way into a system. You think these requirements easy on a scale of 1 to 10? What do you think?
Not necessarily, especially when you compare it to like other services. I know
Because
your beloved VP.
I just let you know, we
You
pay
know
never
what?
do me anything wrong,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
So far, and
yeah,
the moment they do me something wrong, I will let people know. But so far, we pay didn't do me anything wrong, and my WePay account was literally upload your business registration,
yeah, and a few
the
other,
the address, and some other
yeah, yeah,
things. Pow pow, email came back, and then you get your login and your bank account. You had to link the bank account, and you had to get them, I don't know, the bank account information or some kind of thing like that.
yeah,
But
yeah,
that was it, and I okay with that. This
yeah.
one song like okay, now next question, right? Based on
Mm-hmm.
based on your email that you got there, that you've very well obfuscated. Hey, well, let me tell you something about how this man is such a web developer, right? Like to obfuscate the email, he went to the developer tools or Chrome and started to edit the divs. That is the kind of thing you just do when you want to show password and to do that when they see the little dots come up in the password field, you could go and take
Yeah,
off
yeah.
the show password flag.
Change
Yeah,
the yeah,
yeah,
the input
that's
type. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's some dangerous stuff there. But then yeah, big up to all the people that are on TikTok right now. Nice to see you all. We'll come and answer questions about right now. We're talking about Scotiabank e-commerce service, and so far we reached to the point of learning how to sign up. So let's talk a little bit about the two options: payment link, invoice, or hosted payment page. What was that? Let me see.
Yeah, so the first option is there what they call a virtual terminal payment link, which is more or less you generating a link with a certain amount, and you probably put the service or product that you're gonna be selling, and you more or less they could copy that link, send it to your customer. They click on the link, and they would then be taken to Scotia's. Well, this is how I'm interpreting it in terms of how other services do it, right? You copy that
Right,
link,
yeah,
send it to
because
your
yeah,
customer.
you could have a
They
PayPal link, or you could have a WePay link.
Yeah,
Like
so
PayPal.me, I think is the PayPal link, and you just
yeah,
have your
yeah,
business name after it. So they'll have Scotia.tt forward
yeah, it'll
slash whatever
probably
your
be
business name
something
is.
something
All
like that.
right,
Yeah,
all right. That's just sending a link to people. Okay,
yeah.
cool.
So customer click on it, and they'll probably bring them to Scotia's hosted payment page, more or less their payment gateway, enter your credit card information, click pay,
Yeah,
and that's the transaction. The funds should go into your Scotia bank account or their Scotia ecom platform or whatever.
yeah.
Customer will get an email or whatever with the confirmation receipt or whatever, and that's basically it. So it's more or less a payment link, or it might be in the form of an online invoice. So you invoice the customer for a product or service, send it to them. They click the link, take them to the page, enter the credit card details, make the payment,
Mm-hmm.
and that's your transaction there. So that's how I'm interpreting this first option here, the virtual terminal payment link. That's their name for it, but and again, that's targeted to customers more or less who doesn't have a website. You could still use it if you have a website, but for persons who don't have a website, this is their solution for you. Okay, so that's their option one. Option two is their hosted payment page integration, which is more or less their way to cater for customers with our website. So I'm not 100% sure if this is like
Mm-hmm.
their own like web interface where you have to use, or if it is like a well, I've heard some things, but I'm not 100% sure. That's what I'm saying. If it's their own web interface where you have to use their own proprietary software to do the transaction, or if it's something that could be integrated with other platforms like WordPress, Shopify, if it's like just like a payment gateway plugin that you link into the to those platforms. So this year is more or less their option for online payment via your website. You go through your regular shopping cart experience, you add to cart, you check out, and at that checkout point, it'll take you to their hosted payment page gateway, where again, similarly, you enter your credit card information, check out, and the transaction is complete there. So the difference between what I'm thinking for them and WePay might be that WePay integrates with other platforms. You download a plugin for WordPress and you integrate directly like that. First, this hosted payment page integration, I'm not sure that it works like that. It may be that you
All
need
right.
to use their platform, and it
Okay.
might necessarily integrate with other stuff.
So then, all right. Let me say good evening to Damien Dick on YouTube. He said that my WePay took a while to get approved, but I inside. All right. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're inside. And he said good night. So welcome to Damien. And I see some people on TikTok there. All the people on TikTok too. Are we coming to all of just now? We coming to all of just now, right? So tell me tell me what else you saw with respect to the fees, right? The breakdown on the different tiers. So how they charging people is so because okay, from my point of view, I thinking that business is a business is a business.
Mm-hmm.
So if I transfer in $10,000 or if I transfer in $100,000, my transfer fees should be the same to everybody, right? But apparently there are something different in mind. Tell me about that, because I lost.
I mean, even before we go there, they have setup fees. So you have a one-time setup fee for each tier. So in terms of the payment links or the virtual terminal, as they call it, they
Uh-huh.
have a you have a 50 US setup fee for the hosted
Just
payment
now,
page.
my throat, I need to clear.
Yeah, for the hosted
So
payment
50 US to
page.
set up. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
it's 100 US. And if you want to use their API integration,
Uh,
that's probably where you build something on top of their service.
right.
That's a
Now,
$200 setup fee.
now, good question. Now, that API setup thing, right? That linking with Shopify, WooCommerce, whatever you try to use.
Well, you would have to do the work. You would have to develop the plugin. So I mean, they're giving you
Bro.
access to the API. So it doesn't say plugin; it does say API integration. So that's access to their API for
Yeah,
you to build your own
that's work.
stuff on top of it. I mean, if you're good at it, you could probably build something for WordPress or Shopify and try to engage them and sell it to them. Say, hey, look, a plugin here. But this look like just access to the API and you build on it.
Yeah. Hmm. So is there any link for the documentation to the API at least?
No, I guess then you
No.
need to
Well, you had to sign up
engage with
first to
them
get a.
further. Yeah, yeah,
Because I mean, I've interfaced with the documentation for APIs already, and they tell you, okay, yeah, they use this language or use these keywords, and these are the variables they could use, and a lot of the times API documentation be real trash, and like
yeah,
half of the constraints that the API has, they don't tell you until you actually try to implement it or code it, and then you realize, oh, you can't do this and you can't do that and you can't do that.
yeah.
So
I mean, hopefully they kind of provide support in that area and they don't just leave you with documentation, but also give you access to like their technical support, because out of the box I don't think you'll just integrate one time without any, you'll have questions, and the document, as you say, the documentation might not necessarily fulfill all your or answer
Yeah.
all your questions, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so
Okay.
each one has a one-time setup fee. And on top of that, you
Uh,
have monthly subscription fees. You know, I mean, off the back of it, it don't sound that much, but compared to other
was he
services.
monthly subscription fee? Was he on?
So for the links, the invoices is 10 US per month. The hosted payment page 25 US per month, and the API integration 35 US per month. Okay,
I
and
no, but you say those sound like much, but
I
that's
mean, I mean in
to a
like
big business.
10 US $60 a month for as a business cost, you know. You look at it as material, whatever. Yeah, it does sound much, but when you compare it to other services that doesn't have a monthly subscription fee,
Yeah. Okay,
you
that
know.
transaction fees too.
Yeah, so I mean,
Every transaction
and
they
they
take a
it kind of
$5.
tiered, for them. So if you have 0 to 1 transactions, it's 25 cents per transaction. If you have more than 1,000 transactions per month, it's 20 cents. So the more transactions you have, the less they would charge, meaning 5 cents less. You
Kind
know,
of
so
diminishing returns, kind of.
yeah, I mean, and we might not see it from like in terms of we pay, but in the background, every service has that kind of tiered implementation. The more transactions you do, the more volume you have each month, the
Yeah.
less
All
they will
right. All
charge
right.
it
All right.
per
Yeah. I get
per
you. I get you.
yeah.
That
Okay,
make
so
that makes sense, man. That makes sense, man. All right. All right. All right. So then the big question is, right? Well, we had three questions to answer, but I want to ask the second question first. Is a viable option for a small business, right?
um
You think so?
I would probably say I
Because
would
you know,
probably say it
a
have
small
I yeah, go ahead.
a small business and trading in no 100K a month and thing, Sometimes a small business making a little 15, 20, on a good
Mm,
month it might be at 35. And the business basically going month to month to pay salaries and, and cover costs and them kind of thing. But
yeah,
when you put recurring costs into a small business, that's cripple small businesses real bad because it's basically like an next bill you're adding. That's why I see it, but I don't know
yeah.
what you think.
I mean, put it this way, to have options, have other options out there where you don't need to pay the one-time setup fee and you don't need the monthly subscription. So that right there, and I mean, you're all about saving money these days. So that right there for a small business, if you had to choose the two options,
Yeah.
between the two options, yeah, where you don't have to pay a setup fee or you don't have to pay a monthly fee. I mean, the other
All right.
option sounds more.
All
Yeah,
right.
the other
Yeah,
option sounds
we
more.
ain't giving out no
You
free
know?
ads. We just we analyzing it for what it is, right? Basically, that what we doing. Okay. And then so how it comparing to, let's say, a PayPal, we pay, and Paywise. I really know too much about Paywise because
Yeah, I myself
I
haven't.
saw the Paywise stuff, but I didn't really follow up on it anyway. But in comparison, it seems like this is a little more mm,
Yeah, I mean,
intense.
is more overhead. More overhead
And
in terms of signing up, in terms
yeah,
of probably getting approved, in
it
terms
in,
of the setup fees, in terms of the monthly fees. It is more overhead than say we pay, and even PayPal. PayPal have its issues in terms of probably getting your money back here, to
yeah,
Trinidad. But in terms of comparing it directly to WePay, I would give WePay the. I mean, I haven't used it personally, but based on the information we get in here and comparing the figures,
yeah.
comparing the requirements.
I telling you, without VP, I would have been a hot mess. I would have been
Yeah.
a real hot mess when it comes to collecting fees from international people. Like mm-mm. it cannot to compare. So I glad that there. I just feel like, yeah, you have a few hurdles well to skip over
Yeah, and I
to put this
mean,
in place.
normally I would say I would go ahead and test it out and try it myself, but I mean, I
Yeah,
have something that working for me now, and to actually test and try this out, I need to spend money.
yeah, yeah, yeah. To
I
spend
need to at
money.
least. I probably going to want to look at the hosted payment page. I'll spend
Yeah.
125 US just to test it.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I don't know. I guess probably we could see a little free trial or some kind of thing that they would put in.
I don't
But
think.
what technology do you think it built on? Like it using
So I mean, us here in
well,
the Caribbean, First Atlantic more or less have a monopoly in terms of e-commerce and
yeah,
online
payments, yeah,
transactions. So
yeah.
I would say that this is probably built on First Atlantic and probably similar to the other banks. The other banks use First Atlantic as their base. Some of them use like Figaro, which is
Right,
which is
yeah.
also built on First Atlantic, and it also has its setup fees and subscription fees. So just looking at it here, it looks similar to some of the other services or the other implementations that the other banks have. Something
Mm-hmm.
you have First Atlantic as your base, and then something in between there as the middle
But then,
tier.
in
You
all
know,
right, so in terms of code and thing, right? Do you think that they have like a support staff that could tell you, all right, if you're coding for this and you want to link to our API, it's better you use JavaScript, you use React instead of Node.js or whatever it is. That if a technical person say, all right, cool, I gonna build an e-commerce site for company X, and
mm-hmm.
they already have an account with Scotiabank. Can I call the IT department and say, hey, I want to build this website for these people? Can you tell me what technologies you're using? What's the best way to interface with your API and thing? You feel with it? You feel with it?
I'm not sure. You would like to hope so, but
I I would
but
love to hope so.
you would like to hope so, but I'm not sure if like they usually have like a prepared document,
Yeah,
with some of the or most of the questions I think might answer your
yeah.
questions or documentation, and I might
Uh,
refer you to that. Or I mean, some I know First Atlantic, when you're dealing with First Atlantic, you deal with a technical resource in terms of if you want to sign up if you want to develop an API, or if you want to integrate with
yeah,
one of their services, they have a technical person that you work with.
right.
With the banks, however, I'm not sure.
I don't know, cause
Yeah.
there was a time we pay payments weren't going through, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I got people trying to pay, but we ain't getting through. So when I spoke to them, I got to talk with a developer the next day,
Yeah.
and the developer walked me through how to go into the code of the plugin on WordPress and change. Basically, I had to change the timeout from 15 seconds to 30 seconds, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I went in and I changed the code, and the payment started to work. And he said, "Oh, your plugin update will come very soon. Just make sure you update it as soon as you see it." So I was like, "Yo, we're reaching where we going,"
Yeah. Yeah.
because two technical people could have talked. Because imagine, like, I don't know, John Doe have set up the little WP store with the WordPress and thing, and they plug it in and whatnot, and then they had to go and talk to the developer, and the developer say, "Well, the plugin getting updated next week, but I need to get it done. I need to get it done now." And they say, "All right, are you familiar with editing code?" And I say, "Yes." And I
Yeah.
get to
Yeah.
speak to a developer. That was nice for me. Now that was nice for me. So I would love to see that if they were to do that.
Yeah. So I have a question here. On TikTok, a guy wanna know, can you explain how WePay works? So WePay is more or less and I guess you could come into if you
Yeah,
like. WePay is more or less an online payment platform. So you allow customers, and it also has like a personal option as well. So you're more or less facilitating online payments, whether it's a product or service, and you could generate a link, generate an invoice, send it to someone. They click the link, enter their credit card information, payment is made, and that money goes to your WePay account, and then you could then withdraw it to your local bank accounts, right? So it facilitates business to business, peer to peer, sending links to persons, invoices,
right. Yeah,
get
yeah,
to pay
yeah.
online. And also it facilitates e-commerce in the sense that you could have your online store, you have your prices, your whole shopping cart experience, you check out, and then from there, you make a payment via WePay. You click checkout, it'll take you to the WePay payment page, similar to PayPal. Enter your credit card details, checkout, product is purchased, your service is purchased, customer get their product or service, whether it's instant or you have to deliver it to them.
The the
And
um the analogy I normally use for WePay is imagine it have a bank down the road, but you living
mhm,
on top of a hill, And every
Yeah.
time you had to go by that bank, you had to go down the hill and then walk back up the hill, and it's real pain. We Pay is the car that willing to drive up the hill to get your stuff to that bank. So to set up a online store, you usually have to go by a very big company like First Atlantic and do a lot of stuff to get there, but it's hard to do. We Pay was like, all right, we will do it for you, and we will drive up the hill for you, and we could just charge you. It's like the taxi does come up by you know. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's kind of like a intermediary for another intermediary.
Yeah.
Like they break it down. It's not wholesale. There's like retail.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you
Angola
get
is
wholesale.
probably one of the best options, especially like for smaller businesses in
Yeah,
terms of online payments. You know, some people like would go with PayPal, but in
yeah,
terms of just getting up on online, it's
yeah,
one of
yeah,
the
yeah.
better options available to us here in Trinidad.
All right, cool, cool, cool. Well, thank you very much for doing the hard work of getting the email and contacting because I wasn't doing it.
Yeah,
I wasn't going through that. All right, so moving on to our next thing now, which is Google DeepMind. DeepMind is the artificial intelligence arm of Google that they created. They created a artificial intelligence engine, right? And the engine learned to do many things. It learned to play chess. It learned to play a game called Go. It even learned to play StarCraft. You used to play StarCraft?
no.
Nah, StarCraft. All right, yeah. Okay, damn it. I had to keep remembering that a little bit older than you. But everybody used to play StarCraft, boy.
No,
Like,
lovely.
all right, okay, cool. Yeah,
Just now,
so
before we continue,
uh,
just going back a little bit to WePay in terms of their fees.
yeah,
A question here, their fee is 3% per transaction plus 25 cents US,
yeah.
right? So on each transaction, so if you spend $100, it's 3% of that plus 25 cents US. So that's
But
their
they
processing
have
fee.
the ability for the merchant to absorb or the customer to absorb.
Yeah,
It right. So sometimes, well, most of the times the merchant does tell you, well, customer had to absorb the taxes, but you could
yeah,
also split it 50-50 if you want.
yeah,
So
yeah.
and then well, when you have to deposit to your account, like to your local bank account, it's $5
Yeah,
TT.
yeah. Any
So
amount. So if you have
yeah, any amount.
1,000, 10,000, 100,000,
Yeah,
$5 to
$5.
withdraw
Yeah.
to your local bank account.
Yeah. So the customer could pay the taxes, and you could even set that in the API when you set any plugin on WordPress.
Yeah, yeah,
You could set all of that one time, so the customer will just see the final amount and not the amount that you have. It will see the amount plus taxes, and it will give you like a breakdown. So yeah, that's we paid them. They did not pay us to say this, right? Cool.
yeah,
Yeah, so Google, right? Google has this AI that learn how to play various games. It learn to play chess. It mash up the grandmaster in chess easily, no questions asked. That was nice too. They learn a game called Go, a Chinese game called Go,
okay.
and that mash up all the grandmasters, and they was like in total awe. Then they learned to play StarCraft, and it beat all the StarCraft people easily. Now they have taught them how to play football. So watch this video, right? For those of you who are on the podcast, we'll put the link in the show notes. You will see that the humanoids on them, right? They basically taught these humanoids to run by themselves a while ago. And after teaching them how to run by themselves, they gave them some training videos on how to run like a footballer and different things that footballers do, and how to follow a ball.
Mm-hmm.
Now the whole concept of AI is all you have to do is give them the goal that they have to accomplish, and then train them in certain skills. So when you train them in certain skills and tell them the goal they have to accomplish, then you put them out there and you do a model. So you would see, look how pause it here, right? Learning to run, dribble, and shoot took 1.5 simulated years or 24 hours in real time. So this program just running 24 hours a day, and it's simulating 1.5 years. And in 1.5 years, the humanoids learn how to run and dribble. Now, the way they run in real, they run in and they lean in and all that kind of stuff, that's easy to fix because they could just teach them how to run better. But the fact that they were able to teach them, kick a ball, pass it to your other player, continue.
Yeah. So sorry, I want to know. So the I mean I myself I play football now, not at a high level, but I play football.
Yeah.
You know, in the past, I currently play football. I sweat twice a week and everything. I was play
Right, right.
FIFA as well, although
Uh-huh.
I ain't played in a while. So, what's the difference between something like this and the AI in a game like FIFA? Because, I mean, when you look at a game like FIFA, it looks way more advanced than something like this. And I mean, that's more or less AI as well.
The
You know, 'cause
AI, nah,
you could simulate two teams playing together without you having any input, and it
yeah.
will simulate and play, and they will defend, they will attack, they will change the tactics, everything. So
The AI and
I guess
the
the starting point will be different in terms of how they go about, you know, doing it, how they go about achieving the end goal.
from what I know, right? From what I know with respect to FIFA and AI in any game like Call of Duty or whatnot or that kind of things, what it does do, right? It does let humans play, and there's like create almost like a recording of the human playing,
Mm-hmm.
and then they give the AI those recordings to say, okay, this is the sample set of things that you could do in the game, and um these are the things that are applicable to winning a game, right? So they will record two people playing, and then they'll feed that into the machine and feed it. In this case, right, they didn't record any playing. They just gave three things: how to dribble, how to pass, and when a goal is scored.
Mm-hmm.
And then the AI has to figure out how to do everything else. So, like in like Call of Duty and them kind of thing, right? What is do is this be like, okay, let's play a game and show the AI how to lean out and shoot, how to run fast, how to slide and whatnot. That's why sometimes you see them doing the same actions over and over because they're predictable.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
there is a level of predictability in the AI that we have in games, in normal games. But this one here, them men
yeah.
moving real unpredictable. Like what should
Yeah.
they
So I
you
mean, I guess the starting point different.
yeah.
This more or less starting from scratch, and games, you
Yeah,
know, you have input, you have, you know, they have something to work with.
yeah, and it's the same thing that happened with the when they was playing the game, the Chinese game called Go.
Mm-hmm.
All the grandmasters and them was like, "Yo, I never see anybody play like this in my life, and I play in this for 60 years." Like our 80-year-old man was like, "Nah, I never see what kind of move is that? That don't making sense. It not
Yeah.
logical." But what the AI was doing is basically saying, "Okay, I think this makes sense, and it gonna help me win." And
Mm-hmm.
in the end, they win because now, like what we traditionally know as artificial intelligence is not like predetermined stuff. Well, artificial intelligence really and truly it's supposed to be they learn by
Yeah.
themselves
You start from
with
a
with
blank slate,
yeah
and then
without any external input. So I I don't know. I want to think about what the pros and cons of this kind of training, because when you think about artificial intelligence, you could train a computer to do anything, because you could simulate years and years and years of practice in short spaces of time. So, like in this example, 24 hours, they train them to play football for 1.5 years. Think of like a 4-year-old or a 3-year-old child spending 1.5 years playing football every single day.
yeah. He used to watch Dragon Ball Z.
Of course,
So
Goku.
it's
Yeah,
like when
yeah.
Goku went in the chamber
Yeah, it's like when
to
Goku and you
train.
training against the 100 gravity, and
Yeah,
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 you're
yeah,
training against the gravity.
yeah,
Like you
yeah.
will get better.
The
So
time inside there was like, oh, like 3 years past, but
yeah,
outside the time was, you know, so
yeah, yeah.
you're kind of accelerating it. So it'll take
Ex-
us 3 years to learn the AI, you
mm-hmm.
know, you reduce that time. So
So
that there, you know, in itself, how we limited by time in terms of time and effort and, you know,
yes,
but
yeah,
AI, once you have high enough computing power, you know, they could
yeah.
shorten that time.
But and the word time, boy, time is the key part of this thing, boy. Like we don't have time to learn all them things. So we could apply AI to real plenty things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it has some real bad things you could apply this technology to. Like like when it comes to war and thing, right? And you training a drone in battle simulations, and you could simulate 50,000 drone strikes until a drone gets smart enough to be like, yeah, I know how to hit any single thing at any point in time. Once you just put this little beacon on them, I hitting it within
Yeah,
a millimeter. And
yeah. I mean,
I feel
and
I
I
feel
mean,
that will cause a
I
problem, boy.
I wouldn't be surprised if I mean if you could think it, if I could think it, it probably already happening. That's
Yeah,
how that's
I
how I just feel. If we could think about it, it probably already happening, and
I
probably far worse.
I
You know,
scared
I
for this.
mean,
Scared for this. Yeah, I think for the human part, like you see, the scientists on them, they're real genuine in their way of, this is fun for them. This is very good. This is joyful and all that kind of thing. Like that's what does get them off to be like, hey, we get this thing to work and whatnot. But you see, when the politics and stuff started coming,
yeah, I mean, and it's not just politics. Once money started fall into place, I
yeah,
mean, they could have all the best intentions in the world, but if somebody come and lay $20 billion on your plate and say, "Hey, how I do this for me," and it's not necessarily something ethical. You know,
yeah,
money tend to, bring out your true colors. If you're a genuine good person, you might be able to reach us, but it's I
yeah.
mean, power and money would always have a big influence on us, and AI
I,
would be no different. So I don't. You're always going to run the risk of it not being used in a good or ethical way.
yeah. Honestly, I want to see this AI like work in my YouTube recommendations.
Yeah,
I know, know exactly what I want to see, when I want to see it. I know exactly what I didn't know I wanted to see, because that's what Googlers do all of this for. Googlers like do all this research and all that kind of stuff, and then they try
yeah.
to apply it into their back end of their cash cow. Talk about that Stadia closed down. Like
I mean, I'm not surprised there. I'm not
yeah,
surprised there at all because
Google,
our model,
yeah, Google beta
not just the
test the thing
model,
on
but
people by
the technical side of it, the input lag. You can't have games,
yeah,
online games, especially if you're gonna play competitive games like COD that you need good input,
yeah,
you know.
and people internet just trashy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
I
think you're ready for that. You wasn't ready for it, and I
well,
mean, I thought other services that have a similar
yeah,
model might not necessarily be streaming, but offer games as part of a package. Like I think Microsoft or Xbox, like
yeah,
their library catalog was way better than Stadia. You
yeah,
know?
yeah, 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 way better. Yeah, the
Yeah,
well, of course, the what Google says, well, the underlying technology we will continue to use, and thing, and
yeah,
it will show up in other parts, and them that just beta test on the world, boy, and be
yeah.
like,
I
yeah,
mean, with Google, when they bring out something, it's all to take it with a pinch of
yeah,
salt.
like
Because they're
God, like,
notorious for bringing stuff out. They're
yeah,
like, yeah, they're the best, next best thing, and then it look
and
like
then
it turn like Google Glass.
but yeah, I think,
Um,
but they bring back all the Google Glass. I think they,
like when Facebook was getting big, they bring out Google Plus. When I say about Google Plus,
hey,
yeah,
I was in my circles, huh? I was in my circles. So
I yeah. So Google is how to take it. That pinch of salt. I mean, they good in terms of search and ads, and they king in that market. But in terms of probably hardware too, I know you're an Android man. You probably have, but in terms of
well,
some of the other ventures,
there was a point in time when I was worried that Android would not make it, but Samsung saved them. So
yeah,
if it wasn't for Samsung, yeah, we'd have been in trouble. Yo, talk about
yeah,
artificial
yeah. So I
intelligence.
mean,
Yeah,
I wouldn't call it Pepper's pro gaming. Yeah, I know your real name, but I wouldn't say it. He agreeing that Stadia was good on paper, but it was a little too early. So yeah, I
yeah.
agree.
Once the internet start to pick up on thing, I could see it. I could see it coming back. I could see it coming back rebranded or some kind of
Yeah,
thing, or they might sell it to somebody, and that somebody might use it for,
yeah.
like,
I
something.
mean, they try to take on consoles, and cause that what it was to where they kind of
Yeah,
try to come for consoles. Hey, they are new way to
yeah,
consume
yeah,
games, and
yeah.
people really wasn't having it.
Yeah, I don't think it was ever gonna make it per se. Most people are calling it from early. They'll be like, yeah, no. The good thing is they refund everybody. They refund everybody.
I
They
don't think they refund some
nah
of the packages. I don't think they refund it.
nah they refund. No, they're
Oh,
going
they're
to
going
refund
to. They're
everybody. Yeah,
going to. Okay.
they're going to refund everybody by January 2023. I think they say so.
Yeah. I have a
We
statement here saying Microsoft going to acquire it. What do you think about that?
Microsoft right now, and Microsoft buy Activision or Blizzard or some kind of thing. So the other day,
Can't
yeah,
remember.
Microsoft by bought Activision Blizzard. I think that's still before the court. But
Okay, okay.
Microsoft have money to. You see, Microsoft is the only one of them tech companies that just have money stacking up and they have nothing to do with it. Like
Mm.
Apple have real R&D going on, but Microsoft just like we buy Minecraft and we really do have we don't have no hardware. We like the Windows Phone fail. We basically using Android. Windows and Office just making money as we go along, and the cloud services doing
Yeah,
whatever.
Azure.
Yeah, but they don't have a they don't have like a consumer facing thing other than Windows to say, well, yeah, so they're trying to buy gaming studios and whatnot. I show Microsoft bottom line just kind of like they just like, yo, what we gonna do with this money, right?
Yeah,
I don't know. And some of the things that they have, they really have no competition per se, because every office have Windows and
yeah.
no office gonna not have Windows anytime soon or
And they
any
were
operating system.
very smart in following. I'm not sure if they went first, but that whole subscription model. You can't get Windows Office right now without a subscription. I mean, it's our
Yeah,
ways to get it,
it
but
always, yeah. Like
officially
like
you need
like
a
they
subscription.
just have the standalone one, and to just to get the standalone one to install, like you had
Yeah,
to click 50 different links, go through different places and whatnot, and then you'll see it's 249 US
yeah.
for the
I mean,
standalone
that
office.
whole subscription model was just a game
Yeah,
changer in terms of
yeah, they work
just
that real well.
hooking people
Very
in.
good.
You
Pretty
know,
much.
cause I think I see the other day BMW sell one of the cars,
Yeah,
but to get the
was one of the
heating on the
features. Yeah,
car,
yeah,
yeah,
I
to
do.
get heating on your seats, you need a subscription.
Yeah, I do have video
It
on that.
was like,
Yeah,
what?
and men hacking the BMW now to put in a chip. Like
Yeah,
when they used to mod PlayStations and thing, that is what they had to do now. Cause it coming with the hardware there, but the software not enabling it. Cause subscription is the way, why?
yeah,
Subscription is the way. Anyhow,
yeah. I
let me.
mean, and
Yeah,
also the Game Pass, the Xbox Game Pass, everything. Everybody follow that model now. You know, not
yeah.
just Microsoft, PlayStation, everybody, and PlayStation. I think are 3 new tiers are
Oh, for
the
real?
plans. Yeah.
Okay. I hear men real ball for that PlayStation thing. Like,
I mean, I
well,
have
men in
the lowest,
Trinidad real ball.
yeah, the lowest tier, and I can't tell you when last I put on my PlayStation.
We now them youth men and
Yeah,
was all be asking for PlayStation cards. What is called anybody card?
PSN cards.
Yeah, the PSN cards. They always
Yeah,
asking for PSN cards. I sure if you do a giveaway on TikTok or something so and you have a PSN card, you'll get
yeah,
real comments and thing, because the men always hunting for that, because your mother credit card could only do so much after they realize that the credit card get in charge every month
yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever it is. A real pain. Moving on. Let me talk about this. Watch this on the screen here. What does that look to you? Yeah. You remember iRobot?
Yeah. Oh yeah, so there's Tesla's new Elon Musk new venture here into
Well,
the future.
I realize we have this habit of saying is Elon Musk's new venture. It's
Yeah.
Tesla. It's Tesla.
Yeah,
Elon
but
Elon probably planted the idea, but I mean, how much work he could really do on all the different businesses that he have. It obviously has some big boy inside these companies that has drive all of this, and Elon will just be sending them texts all the time to be like, all right, cool. Tell me when I could launch it. Tell
you
me what I
really
could
think
tweet
so?
about it.
You don't think
No,
easy mad scientist behind everything? You don't think so?
no, but it has so much mad science thing that going on. Just them
Nah.
SpaceX rockets
I feel
alone.
at least on a high level, you might get on into the technical side of it, to plan and develop. But I think at least the to spark the idea that at least something had to come
Right.
from him.
Okay. No, yeah, I get that. He had a spark the idea. Cool,
Mm.
no problem. But you see, when it comes to like the demos and thing,
Yeah.
somebody just had a whisper in his ears, don't do this, don't do that.
Yeah, I
We ain't
mean,
get that
yeah,
working yet. That and whatnot. But he's always looked like he's the one that took the product from infancy to adulthood now.
yeah,
But I feel like he does just spark the idea, especially SpaceX. The fact that the reusable rocket
yeah,
landing back and forth all the time and nobody have a problem with that. That was just amazing. I sure he had his hands inside that, because he real
Yeah, I
fantasizing
think
about space.
I agree with Darren. He said Elon is the chief cook and instigator. Yeah, I think like even that idea, regular people would just say, all right, you go with the lowest option, that's regular landing, but
Yeah,
T was probably want to say no, like try and do this, like try and do that. Cause I mean, you still need that drive from somebody on the top, and yeah, you had to be focused on the idea. 'Cause I mean, that's something that probably was never done before. So you need that ambition and drive from somebody. And I think at least the person to spark the idea and have the drive is him. He might
yeah,
even be the one on the ground doing the work, but
yeah. So with the article says that Tesla has unveiled a Optimus humanoid robot, and it believes that it'll be less than 20,000 US. Well, I know that people are gonna buy that quite.
all right, all right. What was the release date?
Yeah.
'Cause up to now, when up to now, when the we call it the Cybertruck, when that was supposed to be released?
Well, the Cybertruck, I see in the news the other day, he said the Cybertruck will be able to float too. It'll be like a boat. It'll be like a boat also. But then, yeah. They released it. Let me scroll down and see.
No,
So,
yeah.
there are two prototypes. One is Bumble C. I guess they probably had a Bumble B that nobody has to see. This is Bumble C here. Basically, real plenty tubes and gears and wires and thing running around
Mm-hmm.
for the actuators and the different circuits and all that kind of thing. But
But like,
it's fully a
I'm
humanoid.
I'm
Watch it.
interested to know, like, what's the use case for this robot? Other than okay,
Just no,
have a Tesla robot. What's the
wait,
use case?
nah,
Like,
wait, look, my boy working right here. I don't know what he doing, but he picking up something and they didn't put a video, they put a picture, right?
okay,
I don't know if it's a freeze frame or if it's an actual thing. But they said that the automaker even showed the robot performing a task. But this website here didn't put the video. I don't know if I have a video of it, but he could work.
you know what? Like the Tesla plant, they have a lot of robots and a lot of automation there.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
feel, but they still had the need for humans to do certain intricate stuff that only a human could do. So
Right.
I guess then this might be,
Bumble C could do
trying to
it.
replace some of the intricacies or some of the,
I don't know if anybody could do it. Bumble C can. I
yeah. So
guess.
I guess that might be the use case for him in his factories, but for us here at home, there's what $20,000 maid or nanny or
Hey,
toy.
the Jetsons is a thing. The Jetsons is a thing.
Yeah,
So in 2021, they had the concept where it was a human dressed up in a suit, right?
yeah,
So this was the concept.
yeah. So
February 2022, this is what they have, and this is actually working. And then the one that they want to get working is this one here. So you see that one, they're looking like it have a face, have a chest
yeah,
plate and all
it
them
kind
kind of
of
thing.
look like the a little iRobot finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
And
somebody here say Bumble C could make them roti. It better make them roti.
and the roti had as well too.
Yeah, no,
The
it's
roti had
hard
as
for
well.
20,000 US. That had a look
So
after me.
it have a battery pack where Tesla know how to handle battery packs from the cars
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
So they know how to handle that 2.3 kilowatt hour battery pack, and it will be good for about a day's worth of work. Look at how high a day's worth of
With
work.
of work. Okay.
What is a day worth of work? I don't know. Is it 8 hours? I don't
Probably.
know. Is an 8 hour day minus a lunch hour and then a recharge or something. So um I'm not too sure, but they have a circuit board for it, and it has Wi-Fi, LTE, audio, and it has security and safety. There's a battery pack, 28 structural actuators, and 11 degrees of freedom. So it bending knees, ankles, wrists,
What I want to know,
thing. Yeah.
so what type of AI you going to put in this? So if any, if it's gonna be the type of AI you talk about with the go and learn and if it gonna reach to that, we call it the
Okay,
point
so
where
well, let's talk about
the
it here.
okay,
The point of singularity.
go on yourself aware.
Furthermore,
Going to
Musk said that Tesla's advantage is that this bot is going to be powered by its AI, which has been primarily developed for self-driving technology. He believes Tesla is going to be able to leverage its work to enable the robot to navigate the real world and perform useful tasks. Useful tasks in quotation marks for me.
okay.
I
I guess it's a good thing that Tesla is the one developing it and not Google. Since Google had the AI, that the guy claim became self-aware.
Yeah. The one, the man, the
He
man.
just
But he was talking to the AI, and the AI was real going in on this book boy, and the book was real, interesting or some kind of thing like that. And he was asking questions about the characters in the book. But it turns out they just feed the AI all the information about the book. So he
yeah,
was just kind of answering. But all
yeah.
right, so let me say hypothetically speaking, right? I'm gonna take it off the screen. Yeah, hypothetically speaking, this thing comes down to maybe say at 10,000 US, right? That would be about 70,000 TT. Well, minus
Mm,
taxes, whatever. You could bring it in a suitcase. I don't know whatever you want to do, right?
yeah.
So let me say they bring this thing, and I have a fast food restaurant, and it's competent at flipping burgers, or it's competent at selling stuff, or doing whatever it is inside the working the drive through. Let me say how to work the drive through. Just listen to
Yeah.
people and punch in the orders and pick up the items and hand it to you out of the window or whatnot. Would you, if you were a big fast food chain in Trinidad, or anywhere, let's start with anywhere in the world. If you're a big
Yeah,
fast food
yeah.
chain,
Before I continue there,
uh,
I mean, yeah, it's the angle where you had to look at how cost effective it's gonna be in terms of
right,
you're
yeah,
purchasing it, maintenance, support, upgrades, whatever, compared to paying somebody a salary.
right,
If
yeah.
it apart from that, if it could give us proper customer service, you know, I would definitely consider. Well,
I
that's joking.
nah,
That's joking. I'm
no,
not
I
sure.
know. I
Now,
telling
I mean,
you, if I could get good customer service and Bumble C, they might be on Bumble D by that time or Bumble E by that time, whatever. But if I own a big chain and I know I go and get good customer service that's consistent all the time, even even
I mean,
even
but
with abuse from people, you just the my Bumble D go and do whatever he need to do to
yeah,
make
but
it.
at the
Yeah.
same time, what incentives does big company have to give us good customer service? Because I mean, right now, it's not that great, and they're still making money. So, what incentive they have to improve customer? So, next thing that's going to cost them more. They don't have an incentive to improve customer service because they're making money right now,
All right,
regardless.
you burst my bubble there, burst my bubble there. Yeah. You shoot me straight out
You
the
know?
water. Nah. That's true, That's true. There's literally no incentive, no reason to decide to give better customer service because we just take it.
Yeah, I mean,
No, all
so
right, let me say, if I tell you my customer service is good, is consistent, and you get the same quality every single time, you think that gonna sell a little bit, boy?
yeah, you can name 5 companies that have consistent customer service in Trinidad. Five,
Nah,
five,
I can't name any, but
right?
if I could tell you that we are own consistent. All right. Okay, you win. Nah,
I'm not sure
big
if the
mistakes
guy
in
is still
Trinidad.
here, but he asked about the. I'm not sure if you saw. Well, I guess you saw the budget, in terms of the developers have that.
He talked about that last year. He talked about that last year too. I remember
But
you talking
that
about that
wasn't like part of the they call it the
digital transformation thing.
manifesto for the
Yeah,
for the
it
elections or
was.
something.
Yeah, it was in the manifesto, and they was going to tech incubators,
Yeah,
something like that, and
I
that never
mean,
that never happened. And he talked about it last year too. And like you ever watch Silicon Valley on like
nah, I
is a
watch
is, is a show about developers and they building an app and that kind of thing now. They just have
it.
like a house where they just go and kind of rent the space and stay there, and in turn the person who own the house does get 10% of the app because they basically get them fast internet and all the
Mm-hmm.
resources that they need to build the app and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is what I think that they were trying to mimic or imitate, to create like a tech hub where somebody has an idea and they will fund you for 6 months to get your app from ideation to
I
launching.
mean, I mean, the idea in theory is a good idea, to kind of help facilitate some of the young developers, help the industry, help Trinidad, and to grow that whole developer community. Because I think we have a lot of talented developers. It's just we might not necessarily have the opportunities for them to flourish. 'Cause it's not necessarily an environment where technology is the forefront, and it driving us forward, So in theory, it's a good idea, but again, for me, it's about the execution. Because I mean, as I say, the we talking about this
I
two,
think
3 years now.
I think the biggest issue that we go have is we don't have venture capitalists in the Caribbean now. You don't have like a venture capitalist firms, or like, in America they have a thing called Y Combinator. It's
Yeah, yeah,
basically,
yeah,
yeah, a
yeah,
bunch of venture capitalists will just be like, all right, tell me why I should invest by you, which I mean why I should invest by you. Like, if I have a groundbreaking product that I decide that I want to bring out and I know it's gonna cost real money, it has nobody to go to besides Nedco to ask for a
yeah.
loan,
So no, I
Like,
mean, you have to do it on your own.
yeah,
That's how it is,
you gotta
I
do it
mean,
on your own,
even
yeah, and
this
that's fighting through.
developers hub, it looks like they're more focused. Their focus is on public service and helping the public service. I mean, I've been in like stuff similar to that in terms of
Yeah,
we call it like startup weekends and coding
yeah, yeah.
competitions, building apps and stuff. And at the end of the day, as somebody who getting into that, you probably don't want to get into to developing for the
to,
public
to bank
services.
on that,
Probably,
yeah,
yeah, not
yeah.
in your
You
best
will never get it
interest.
check. You'll never get it check.
Yeah,
I telling you, like, I ain't letting the whole public know, but it have a check from the government that I never get for something I do, and
I
I
mean,
like
what's right? It's all real. Like it has
I
some tenders I don't see or
uh,
RFPs.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
people that send it to me and I be like,
I
I
like
mean, not do that many pass files. Be like,
I real good. I real good. I don't want to run down nobody. If you can't pay half upfront, then I good. I
yeah,
real good. Or you'll get eventually, it will come like when it reach and all that kind of talk. Nah, boy.
yeah,
That ain't cutting it. But I guess I don't know. I think if it have like a venture capitalist kind of a vibe that you could go on, not like Shark Tank, but more like you have a proper, you have the technology sorted out, and the venture capitalists understand what the value of your application will be, then
yeah. I'm
you'll
not
get all
sure that
support.
you might have that in Caribbean,
Nah,
but
well,
our,
the only people that will understand that kind of thing would be me and you when we get older. Nah. Like
yeah,
when we
when we become millionaires,
yeah, like when we hit a little 50 and thing, right? And we
yeah,
rolling in cash.
yeah,
The child are now born could
yeah,
be like, hey, I have this idea, whatnot. Would you be willing to invest? I would listen to him now. I'd be
yeah,
like, listen, I have a whole $1 million. I have a house, my family done set up already. I have everything I need. Why not
yeah, yeah. Take
pour
the
something on you and see if, well, if it turn out good, I want 10% of the stock, I want shares and all that kind of thing. And if it do turn out good, well,
yeah,
it's a venture, because the whole point of venture capitalists is they just basically choose 10 things to invest in a year,
yeah,
and one of them go make it. And once the one make it, the man who invests in Facebook or Twitter or whatever it is, he rolling right now, because all
yeah,
the other things that fail, he just kind of be like, well, that one failed, but I took the venture and it
yeah.
worked.
So our comment here, stating corporate culture needs to change to embrace locally developed software and demonstrate the need. And it ties back to the initial topic of subscription that developers need to get paid. So I mean,
Boy.
being a developer in the industry, yeah, I could agree with that in the sense that we tend to look outside before we look within in terms of developing software. So
Yeah,
most
yeah, yeah.
times you probably prefer to go and get proprietary software rather than to develop in-house. And
Mm-hmm.
that kind of culture does kind of stifle the growth of some of the developers,
But like
So
you know,
like
I
if
know.
like
Go ahead.
developers here,
Mm-hmm.
so a developer here might go to work for a company, but instead of actually developing something, you might purchase our software
And
and then
tickets,
you just support the
change the
software
settings.
rather.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so you coming out of college or whatever, and you go into that kind of environment. Whereas
Yeah,
somewhere else in the US, you graduate and you come out, you actually going to build something.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
actually
Actually
going
gonna
to
code, yeah.
engineer something, just going
Yeah,
to purchase something. And then,
yeah.
so we had a culture they have kind of just outsourcing stuff,
Like what I
outsourcing the
noticed
hard work.
too,
Yeah,
real plenty of the delivery apps and
it's
food
white
delivery
label,
website thing.
whitelisted.
Yeah, and
Watch me even this this
it's WooCommerce.
this someone like where the bank, some of the banks uses white label software for the
Yeah,
e-commerce stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, it's just white label.
yeah. And
And
all
I
you gotta do
mean,
is go and change the settings, put in your logo, and boom.
yeah, put your branding. A lot of times, a lot of companies here to just outsource the stuff to India,
Yeah.
the development work.
Though
Even
it
I
had,
mean, even some stuff in the government,
oh
something
yeah, yeah. No, it
outsource.
had a time I was on a conference call with some developers from India, and there was well, I don't know if I could say it now. I can't say this. Anyhow, I was on a conference call with some developers from India,
Yeah,
sort of like a consultant about how the culture is over here.
yeah,
And they were like, "Yo, yeah, okay, cool, 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 interesting, very interesting. This is how it works in the background. Wow."
yeah. I
Like,
mean, I work on projects like that.
yeah,
The company here in Trinidad,
yeah,
they hire you, or or they hire a company and then they come to you, or the outsource to India. And you have to be the middle person to kind of manage the project. You're the
yeah,
person
yeah,
talking to the guys in
yeah, yeah, yeah,
India, and you talking back here, So
yeah. You just like
all you're doing is
translator.
just, yeah, you man, you're translating the technical work. You
Yeah,
translate, you have to manage the time zones, manage the accents. So,
yeah.
and I mean
Once we
that happens not just government, it happens private companies as well. They outsource a lot.
if we could get to a point where we could build things on our own, because I know man, I know a few graduates who from UB and thing who working for like Intuit and QuickBooks and thing, and they're actually working
Mhm.
on an API and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
And
there are companies that you
yeah,
actually do real development work, but
yeah. And well, when we get to the point where we get big enough, we'll start to interview some of them. Because when I talked to one of them, he was like, "Yeah, they developing in JavaScript for thing, and we working from Trinidad, and we sending our stuff up there and all that kind of thing."
mm,
One of our students on YouTube here is like, "So why don't you try to fix or upgrade the student portal for CXC?" The Caribbean Examinations Council is not it just is it's not somebody that you want to like
yeah, but I mean,
uh,
you
uh,
probably you probably want to do it out the goodness of your heart.
goodness, yeah, that's
I
not.
I passed that stage.
Nah, I just watch that every year and see the trouble that Sharenas have to get the results and thing, and I just be like, you know, this could easily fix because the interface is literally like the interface you learn to use in your first year web development. You'll be like,
Oh,
okay,
for real.
put in labels, put in fields, post the either use post or get to send the JavaScript to the server, search the
Mhm.
database and return the query. And it's like by now, not one front end developer could come on this, make the box rectangular. I mean, not rectangular. Like,
No, I mean, most times it's just once it working, you don't need to fix
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and I know how
Sometimes
that
it's
feels.
not working and they do fix it.
I know
It's
how
that.
that feels when you build something and it's real rough, but it working. Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah,
be like, I don't have the drive to make it better. But if it's a thing that's servicing 60,000 students a year, oh gosh, man.
yeah. As I say, sometimes it's not working and they're still
Yeah.
not fixing it.
Anyhow,
Shout out to the Gate website that
bro.
that since that not necessarily working as it should since I was a student, which
It, yeah,
over
yeah,
10
yeah.
years ago.
Yeah, that real pain. That real pain.
Yeah.
Anyhow, time for us to switch to TikTok there earlier. It was a good run. YouTubers, all the people on YouTube that came. Next week we're going on I'm gonna start to actually advertise the podcast from now on. We're gonna start to put it up on the listener the different channels and whatnot. So next week we'll probably have to do all the proper announcements and stuff. But it's just a rough thing. This will turn to the podcast and it'll be the first beta on the spot on Spotify and all the other places. So all those on YouTube next week for sure we'll have like the real podcast with intro and all them kind of thing because I think we learn enough and we figure out enough to figure it out. So all those of y'all who've been watching the betas for the past few weeks, we appreciate it. And as usual, we didn't plan to just go on TikTok after an old talk, but that is what we do now, right? So if you're not on TikTok, link us on TikTok. Look for at Redbit Tech and look for at Make It Simple TT or Make IT Simple TT, whichever one you want to call it, because it's making it simple anyhow. And we go on TikTok from now on. Well, after the YouTube live to answer questions and whatnot, right? So check us out on TikTok. All the YouTubers, all the people that watch live, look out for the clips. And the people that listening to the podcast, look out for it in your favorite podcast. Yeah, I always wanted to say that. Look out for it in your favorite podcast app, whether you use Spotify,
Apple,
what do you call it?
Apple
iTunes and
Podcast.
Apple Podcasts. I was gonna say
Yeah,
iTunes. I was like, iTunes is nothing anymore. Yeah, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and your
yeah,
favorite podcast app. Yeah. All right, so we ending off on YouTube there. Later.
yeah.